Alchemist is one of Australia's most innovative, exciting and enduring metal acts who have been at the forefront of the Australian music scene for over 15 years. Throughout their extensive career, the band has consistently delivered unique, aggressive music with thought-provoking lyrics and critically acclaimed live performances. Alchemist have withstood the test of time in a diminutive music scene devoid of any real commercial success. Alchemist have an enduring and colourful history. This is their story. In 1987, Alchemist already had a strong reputation as an exciting new metal band in their hometown of Canberra, Australia. The group was formed by a then 16-year-old Adam Agius, whose reputation as a fast and impressive thrash metal guitarist preceded him. In 1989, drummer Rodney Holder was enthusiastic when asked to join the band. Rodney and Adam had met via the local scene, and the two strong personalities immediately gelled. Adam and Rodney, along with guitarist Andrew Meredith and bassist James Priest, worked hard at establishing the embryonic rumblings of what would become the modern Alchemist sound. In 1990, the band released their first demo, simply titled Alchemist Demo 90. Despite its horrendous production values, this recording sold well for the young band and pinpricked the international metal underground via aggressive tape trading.
It's hilarious to listen to now, but I think the songs were really strong thrash metal. We had no idea what we were doing in the studio. I went for a blowfly guitar sound and I went for a cowbell kick drum sound. I listen back to them now and I'm pretty proud of those songs. Just the production values are really bad.
I remember Roy telling me that he actually thought that that's how Alchemist actually sounded back then live. So it was a good representation of how we actually sounded with the gear we had back then.
Perhaps the most significant element to this early demo was the song Jar of Kingdom, a composition that showcased a technical thrash metal work embedded with slabs of raw psychedelia. This track excited the young band and gave them a direction to work towards, a path they believed could enable them to stand out amongst their peers in their chosen genre.
Jar of Kingdom, the song, is the first song that we ever did that was really had a massive psychedelic part in it.
Jar of Kingdom, the song, really was the first sort of stepping stone in that direction.
Jar of Kingdom, the song, represented where we wanted to be and how we thought we were different from the rest of the scene.
But before the group could further progress, a lineup change was required as the band needed to find a new bass player. In 1991, John Bray was plundered from Exceed, another popular local Canberra band.
Well, me and Adam said, well, let's see if this guy, we can get him into Alchemist.
Adam and Rod came and approached me and just said, look, you know, I don't know what you're doing with Exceed, because they didn't know that I was having hassles with Exceed. And they just came and said, do you want to join Alchemist? And I just went, fuck yeah.
He seems like a good enough bloke, and he's a pretty good bass player, and he's got good gear, so let's get him in the band.
That weekend we all got together and started jamming together and just went, yeah, this is cool, this is way better. We really basically tried to remake Alchemist and try and start again.
John's arrival at Alchemist brought a focus to the songwriting that was unprecedented, and soon there was enough material for a new recording. Alchemist's demo 91 delivered a significant progression in the songwriting and more polished production values. The recording showcased the group's original ideas and further propelled their popularity in the evolving Australian metal scene. Alchemist now began performing their first interstate shows with illustrious acts such as Sadistic Execution, Addictive and Mortal Sin. More importantly, the band was now receiving numerous positive reviews from around the globe. The future was looking exciting for the band, and it came as a surprise to the group when longtime guitarist Andrew Meredith suddenly resigned. The search for a new guitarist was brief, and soon Roy Torkington was chosen as a replacement. Roy was a young and talented guitarist who shared a similar music vision and life attitude as Alchemist.
I went to do college, year 11. At the same time, Rod went back to college to do year 13, and we sort of met there because we did a lot of classes. All I pretty much did was music at college, and Rod was in a few of those classes, and we got on real well. And their other guitarist left, and then he asked me, which was a bit of a surprise, and because I was a fair bit younger than the rest of them, and back then it was more obvious.
Rod basically just hit him up and said, mate, do you want to come and join Alchemist?
I think it must have been pretty nerve-wracking for Roy when we first tried him out.
When my first rehearsal, we sort of turned up at Adam's house with the rest of them. I sort of knew the other two. I hadn't met Adam very much, and you know, they're all big personalities.
Basically, we just played one song which he had learnt, and it was a bit rough around the edges, but we just knew that he was the right guy.
We jammed out a few songs, went to the shops, went back in the van, had some billies.
Spent about 15 minutes on the music and just said, yeah mate, you're in, and then went and forced marijuana down his throat.
Yeah, that was pretty much more important than how the playing was just fitting with the guys and their lifestyle, I guess. Later on,
Roy tells a story that he was greening out, but he just had to hold everything back because, you know, he was trying to impress his new band members.
It really felt like the completion of the unit, you know, we really sort of immediately gelled.
He was, you know, basically the final piece in the puzzle.
Roy's inclusion to the band would solidify a stable lineup and creative partnership that remained strong almost 15 years later. In early 1992, Alchemist were offered their first recording contract by Austrian independent label Lethal Records.
One day I get a phone call from Rodney, who'd gone to the PO box and found that a small independent label called Lethal Records from Austria wanted to sign the band.